Welcome back to the Cherry Picking Podcast, episode number 2. Reminder, we're on Spotify and Apple. Hopefully you're drinking a nice coffee in the morning, heading to work, listening to some hockey talk. Today we're joined by producer Tyler McKillop. You know him from Doing Football. And Chad Lacey, special guest, works at Owner's Box, has an elite prospects profile, so go check it out.
Oh, man.
You're probably the only one in the office that has an elite prospects profile.
Yeah, that's not a good thing because it's not a great profile, so
Hey,
I'm the only one.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
What do you think is the standard to be on elite prospects?
I think you just have to play AAA, right?
Yeah.
Minor midget?
Okay.
Or I think AA2, single A.
Okay.
maybe.
I think if you're in consideration to be drafted into the CHL, they make one for you.
Okay. So I guess we'll break the ice here. Who's your player comparable?
I'm going to stick with my Red Wings, go with Dylan Larkin. Someone
Okay.
quick,
All right.
a little bit gritty, hits, but can still produce.
I like
Okay.
that. I like that. Drew, have you ever stepped on the ice?
Yes. What do you mean?
Wow.
I played hockey from when I was I would say 6 to probably 16.
We learn something new every day.
Mhm.
So
Let's get back out there.
who's your player comparable?
Phil Kessel for sure.
Phil Kessel.
Yeah,
You didn't even hesitate.
I'm a big guy. I like to use an intermediate stick.
Okay.
Just like Phil Kessel. I like hot dogs and casinos, so I'm going to go Phil Kessel.
I'll go with...
No one asked, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
I'll answer this myself, but I'm going Barzal.
What happened to
Interesting choice.
Marchand? I thought Marchand was
Marchand was. I'm like a hybrid, right? I don't have the hands of Barzal. I got the speed, and then I got the grittiness of Marchand.
Okay.
And Tyler McKillop was a goalie.
Yeah, my player comparable is Tim Thomas.
Nice,
Nobody res-
nice. That's a
Nobody
great...
respected
Would
my
you
lack
have-
of technique, but a just natural stopper of the puck.
Would you have gone to the White House, though?
We don't talk about that here.
Oh, that is a non-answer.
Tim Thomas. Okay, so we're going to talk about some preseason to start off, right?
Yeah. Preseason observations. What are you guys seeing? What are we overreacting to? What should we react to?
I think that I told Drew this, that Christian Dvorak could be legit this year.
Okay.
I think he could take a step up. People are talking about that. Going from Arizona. People are talking about Connor Garland taking that big step with Vancouver, but I think Dvorak could make a huge step with Montreal, and Montreal gave up a lot to get him, too.
Yeah, so basically it was the day after they lost Kotkaniemi, right?
Yes.
So he's their replacement. I think he's a better player than Kotkaniemi now. I don't know if Kotkaniemi will ever be as good as Christian Dvorak is now, but buried in Arizona was not a great place for him. We saw it in the OHL with the Knights. He scored more points than I think Marner and Domi in the last year they're all together. So he does have some hidden potential, for sure. I like that one.
Do you think Montreal won that situation?
Was it a second
Giving him
overall?
away?
I would, man, I
second
think
round,
Montreal overall won that.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom paying Jess Barry or
So-
6.1 mil a year.
They got a first and a second and a third for Kotkaniemi, or just a first and a third?
First and a third.
And then they gave a second for Dvorak.
We'll get T-Mac might have to search that up, but
I
I
think that
thought
is
they
it.
gave up. I thought it was maybe a first.
A first for Dvorak?
He's only
I think
25.
Did they trade that first that they received for?
I think so. Yeah, I
that's
think
what
they
I
just
thought,
flipped
yeah.
it.
Okay.
That's what I'm under the impression that was at
Yeah.
first. That's what I'm saying. They gave up like a good chunk. I thought
Maybe
it was
in my
a
head,
first.
Dvorak was a second round pick in the NHL.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting that from.
Honestly, I like his
You-
situation more in Carolina, though.
Yeah,
Playing
that's
with-
true.
With
I
that,
do agree
that
with that.
front
Yeah.
line, there's a lot of guys that can get him the puck, create offense, and probably fill his stat sheet more.
You wanted to know what was given up for Dvorak?
Yes.
Yeah, first and a second.
Okay.
First and a second.
See, that's like a good haul.
I'm pretty sure the first has a condition of the worst of the
does.
two firsts. But yeah,
Yeah.
now that I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. I like Dvorak in Montreal. I like Kotkaniemi better in Carolina.
I do think, yeah, he gels way better with that Carolina team. I think he could have a surprisingly a really good year there.
Yeah. With Aho, Teravainen, Trocheck.
You don't just offer sheet that for no
True.
reason.
Svechnikov.
We've been through this. I said this to you already. It's not Teravainen.
Teravainen.
He's
Sorry
working
about
on
that.
his pronunciation.
I'm working on it. Okay.
Yeah, working on it. We should talk about people overreacting on Twitter, the power play.
Yes. Holy crap.
This has been a...
Fantasy Hockey Twitter sees some first game of the preseason power plays and says, "Oh, you got to draft this guy." It's like they're playing their backups and AHL players. Like the first line's not even out there. How can you say that this guy's definitely going to be on the first power play for the rest of the year?
I just
Unbelievable.
can't believe it. People are like telling people to draft people, and it's like this is just not their team.
No.
It's just not their team at all.
Terrific.
So a lot of overreactions happening right now based on preseason.
Any prospects that you're seeing in preseason that you think might be able to make the leap? I mean, there's the obvious like Zegras and Caulfield, but
I'm hoping Raymond for Detroit. He's had a good camp.
Ooh.
3 goals in 2 games. Also, I think he played his first preseason against Buffalo, put up a goal. So
there we go.
And Detroit's like they're lacking offense right now. So I'm hoping
100%.
they give him a shot.
Also with the
It would be
Vrana
nice to see
injury,
him.
he might even get top 6 if he plays.
How long's he out? 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they give him a shot. I mean, he's one of those. That was a good draft class with Byfield and Stützle, and Raymond could have went to the Sens. The Sens, they did say that they were close to drafting him.
Yeah,
But-
they went with Stützle instead.
Yeah, they went with Stützle. Well, it was like Stützle, Byfield, but Raymond was also in the conversation. Like they thought that the Sens were potentially going to pick him, but
They're maybe trying to get Raymond at 5, but then he went at 4. Then he took Sanderson. Right?
yeah. I kind of worry about Byfield. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if he's going to live up to the expectations.
I think he will. I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Like I think it'll be like 2 or 3 years before he's pretty good. Like power forwards take a little bit longer to develop, right?
He's not going to get the exposure either. You got Kopitar,
Yeah.
first line center.
Turcotte also ahead of him
Turcotte,
probably.
Yeah.
Good old Sudbury Wolves. I remember watching him in the OHL in Sudbury, and he dominates. Like he's a big body that can.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that often, a big centerman that can just dominate the play. But T-Mac, did you ever go see a Wolves game? See Byfield? Were you at school?
Yeah, a couple times. I just don't think that like at this stage of where the game's at, a guy of his caliber, of his like being selected second overall, like
Yeah.
he should be in the league.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. And he's going to go in this year, and I feel like the best he's going to get is like a 3rd or 4th line.
He's
Like
underwhelming
minutes.
at World Juniors too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think
No,
because you saw
yeah.
Laugh put up a stupid amount of points. He's
Yeah.
playing well, strong, skating by guys, no problem. And Byfield, you could just tell was not that skill level.
The only game that Byfield had a really good game was when they won like 14-0. I guess against I can't remember who it was against, but that's when he had 5 points. But besides that, in the more competitive games, he kind of disappeared.
Yeah. And then there is William Eklund.
William Eklund, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. The Sharks, the wing positions on the Sharks, wide open.
Yeah.
Like they have no one on wing. Like they have, if you look at Daily Faceoff, I think they have like Barbanov, that like old Leafs prospect, is like the 2nd line winger. And you can look out for guys like Eklund, and also I can't really pronounce his name. I'm gonna try. It's like Chmelevsky. I think it just might be Melski. Chmelevsky. He
Look
might
at Gavin
make the leap
over
this
there.
year from the
Gavin's
AHL.
over there. Gavin Keel. He'll be making an appearance at some point, but
Yeah.
you just got to warm up over there. But he's coming in clutch here.
Tons of opportunity for prospects to make an impact in San Jose.
I think. Did you guys see the picture of Burns and Eklund like together?
No.
No. was
Eklund's
this in
like,
camp?
yeah, it was hilarious. It's like he's like puny compared to Burns on the ice, but man, he's shifty.
People are saying he's like Willie Nylander. That's comparable.
Okay.
That'd be pretty good.
It's a good addition. You were saying yesterday that you're shocked he dropped to what 7th or
Yeah.
somewhere
Yeah,
around
7th.
there.
7th. They went with Mason McTavish, pardon me, for the Ducks at 3. I like Eklund a lot more than Mason McTavish.
I like McTavish. I love him. I was hoping
Yeah.
Detroit would snag him at 6, I think.
Yeah, they went with Edmondson.
Surprisingly, he went early. I didn't think he was going to go as early as 3 for Anaheim.
But
But
you got to know Detroit, Swedish prospects,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, I love him.
I think.
They love him.
What do you guys think of? So talking about prospects and Michigan and all these players going back
To Michigan?
school. Like, what do you like? I don't think we've ever seen something that like NCAA
Michigan.
dominant in the first round.
Power, Beniers, and Kent Johnson from this draft. And then you also have Cam York still there from a couple drafts ago. I don't know if he's returning this year for his
Cam
4th year.
York?
Yeah.
No,
He played there
he-
last year.
I don't think he's going back.
I think he'd probably be in the AHL this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he did, though, that would be insane. They also have Thomas Bordelot, the Sharks prospect, going back, got a ton of points.
Hughes.
Hughes.
Quinn going there.
Luke Hughes.
Or not Quinn. Luke.
Yeah.
Luke.
It's like all of them decided to make a super team.
So, do you think this is good for the development?
I mean, it's kind of like playing on the U.S. National Development Program.
Yeah, that's
team.
true.
This over the minors, though. What do you think's better?
Yeah.
I
Like
would-
I'm just
what do
talking
you guys
about
think?
I'm more thinking of like Power and who got drafted to the Kraken again?
Beniers.
Yeah, like cuz he would make an immediate impact in that Kraken lineup.
Oh, 100%.
So like I'm just surprised that like I wonder if this was more of a team choice or the players all wanted to play together again, and they went to their management and recommended that they go back.
Beniers did ask to go back to try and win a national championship, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's where it's like, I know it's important. It's obviously their last time ever going to play college, but I think that if they can make an immediate impact on their NHL team, I mean, you get paid to do what you do. So I'm kind of surprised. I don't think we've ever seen something like this, though. Like the NCAA is obviously getting stronger and more people are getting drafted from there.
I think that the CHL will still be the best development league because you play a full slate of games, double the amount of games you play in college.
Do you think all those guys from Michigan though would have an impact like this year? I don't know if they'd all even make their own individual NHL teams.
I think Hughes wouldn't make an impact at all.
New Jersey,
Hughes wouldn't make an impact,
especially with Hamilton coming in the lineup now.
Kent Johnson's really skilled, but I think he's a couple years away.
I think Power would have a huge presence on that Buffalo team, but I think that
he did really
Buffalo's
well.
gonna be so bad, like they're probably just like there's just no point bringing him up now.
Power did really well at the World Championships, which makes you think he can definitely make the leap, but I don't know how much for fantasy he would really impact the team.
Yeah, from a fantasy side, yeah. A lot of people don't think that Power is just going to be a very fantasy relevant.
No, but I think Beniers could be a good second line center.
Yep, I agree.
Right now,
I agree.
Looking around the league, what do you guys think about some of the goalie battles here in preseason? So I got here Toronto. We got Peter Mrazek and Campbell. San Jose, Aiden Hill and James Reiner. Dallas has 4 goalies. Who the hell knows what's going on there? And then the Islanders, Sorokin and Varlamov.
Well, I think for Toronto, you got to go with Campbell, the way he played last year, that win streak. I do like Mrazek, to be honest. I'm surprised Carolina traded away both goalies, like Mrazek, and they traded that guy who was in the Calder mentions.
Nedeljkovic?
To Detroit.
Well, Nedeljkovic asked for a trade to Detroit because his girlfriend is a grad student at UM.
Oh, wait. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
He asked for a trade?
He asked. That's why it was only a 3rd rounder. He asked specifically for a trade just to Detroit, and Carolina was like, sure. And then Stevie Y was like, here's a 3rd rounder, but he's probably worth like a second at least.
He publicly came out, right, and said that it was like an absolute steal. Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's another goalie battle, him or Grice. I bet you it'll be Nedeljkovic, though.
Yeah, I think so, too. Sorokin, the Islanders have a great little committee there going, but people are saying that Sorokin could take over. But
I think he will. But
he should.
Varlamov's consistent.
That's true.
It all depends if Sorokin takes another step.
Gianni thinks that Peter Mrazek is going to be the guy in Toronto.
He does.
I know T-Mac doesn't like that take, but I don't think that, like, the respect for Jack Campbell in the Leafs locker room, like, I don't, what type of, I guess, statement are you putting then making Peter Mrazek your guy when Jack Campbell
I don't think they'll be a
played
guy.
really well?
Like, it might be like 50 and 32 games. I guess that makes Campbell the guy, but
I feel like Keefe's just going to roll with whoever's hot.
Yeah,
He'll
I
give them
think so,
both an opportunity, but I do think that Campbell earned his spot last season. So
yeah.
Completely agree. Now, what do we think of Spencer Knight?
Oh, no, Spencer Knight.
Spencer Knight's another one.
Yeah.
He's been
Brody thinks
fantasy
he's
relevant, too.
That's going to kill Florida. What's Bobrovsky signed at 10 mil?
10 mil.
Yeah, like that's going to kill them if they're
time.
not.
8
they're
years, I
starting
want to
Knight,
say, or something crazy.
Yeah, I think that they, like, Spencer Knight only played, do we know, like, how many games Spencer Knight played? I don't know if T-Mac can search that up. But he played the 1 game in playoffs, right? The 1 or 2?
Yeah, 1 or 2 games in playoffs. He played really well. I mean, they'll start with Bobrovsky and loop Spencer Knight in, and as Spencer Knight is better, he'll take the job, and if he's not better, he won't.
You just look at how many games Drieger played last year. Like, you got to expect that he's just going to take over Drieger's spot, like what he did.
But Bobrovsky always runs hot and cold as well, right?
Yeah.
So it could be a hot year for Bobrovsky, right? Like, he won the Vezina, and then he was kind of bad, then he had another good year.
I was surprised he didn't do well in Florida, especially with, like, the team they have up front. Their D's starting to evolve and get better.
Yeah. I always say this. Our teacher in school, T-Mac, knows who he is, Mr. Vincent. He always says that you should never surround your team of a goalie.
Like, spend a lot on a goalie?
Yeah. He said it's the worst position.
Look at
to spend
Price,
a lot of money.
Last playoffs, man, Price really held in.
I know. That's the thing, though. Like, Price sort of, like, carried that Montreal team.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that Montreal team, I still can't believe about Montreal just in general, how they were in Stanley Cup finals.
I think they'll have a hangover this year, kind of like Dallas the year before.
I think they're better, though.
Yeah,
actually, I guess Shea Weber, though. Shea Weber's out. That
Shea
hurts.
Weber-
It's a huge hit.
Weber might be retired. That would be.
It might not bounce back, yeah.
Yeah, they said he might just never play again.
Who? Shea Weber?
Yeah.
There's quite a few years left on his contract, too.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty
How
sure
about,
I'm pretty sure Nashville gets absolutely destroyed if he like retires because of the money.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
the deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Because of when the Flyers offer sheeted him. Spencer Knight's played 4 regular season games, 2 playoff games.
Yeah, 6
Okay.
games.
6
You know why?
games.
But you know why Bobrovsky hasn't worked there is because playing under Joel Quenneville, playing the way that he plays, like you're not really built for a goalie to be as successful as they are when they play in Columbus. For
Yeah,
Tortorella.
Columbus. Yeah.
Columbus is shut down. Like the entire offense plays defense first.
Yeah. There's a lot of goalies that have succeeded in that Columbus sort of game style.
Yes.
that's fair.
I like Merzlikins this year for a goalie sleeper.
I like that pick too.
Okay, so one more. Dallas. What the heck is going on in Dallas for goalies?
So Ben Bishop, do we know how long he's out for?
I don't know. That may be a good one for T-Mac to look out.
I'm pretty sure I looked at this the other day, and it was definitely going to be still like at least a month.
So they have a young tender in Ottinger.
And then they have Khudobin as the starter, and then they just brought in Holtby.
So why bring in Holtby? I don't understand that at all.
I don't know either. Doesn't make any sense.
Boys, the first thing I see is Ben Bishop has set its sights on returning at some point this season.
If that happens, like, what are they going to do?
I mean, they'll trade. They might.
Yeah, they're going to trade.
I don't think they'll get anything like big in return.
They're
But
going to trade Ottinger.
I think they'd
have to get a lot. He's
think
a
they
top
trade
goalie
Khudobin.
prospect. They trade Khudobin, who's their starter.
to be a
though.
backup somewhere, like a good
Okay.
backup somewhere.
But if he's their best goalie halfway through the year, they're not going to trade him away.
No, that's true because
And
I
they-
think
Well,
Dallas
it depends
will
on the
compete.
price and depends on
Yeah.
Dallas's situation. If they're in
Yeah.
a position to make a push, then they're going to keep
that's a
whoever's.
great point.
Yes.
If they're in playoff contention, they're not going to trade away Khudobin. But if they're near last place,
Well, I'm
yeah.
guessing they're
It's
not.
great trade deadline bait,
Yeah.
regardless.
No, I
one of
agree.
those goalies.
And Holtby they just brought in. You don't want to trade a guy you just brought in, right?
No, I think Holtby is going to be their backup
I think so
unless
too.
he really plays well. But I think that they have it set that they
Yeah.
want him to be their backup and then someone to take over the starting role.
Yeah.
But I can see
be
one of those
interesting.
guys getting traded. Even
Yeah.
maybe Bishop if he's healthy and he
Back
comes
to-
back, maybe he gets traded.
What team would trade
It's
for
a
him? at the deadline?
it's a wild thing going on here. He's been practicing in training camp, but like the expectation it seems like from a lot of people is that he'll still end up on LTIR.
Jesus,
It's like
not good. Not good.
Next topic here.
Okay.
The Arizona Coyotes relaxed their dress code. Said players can wear whatever they want. Don't have to wear suits to the game. How do we feel about this?
At first, I thought it was a very soft move. I just because it's just like tradition. Like when I was even like 12 years old, we'd show up in our dress shirts. I think it's just I don't think it's a great look for younger hockey players out there seeing these guys show up to games and whatever they want.
Yeah.
I don't know how
interesting.
relaxed
Very
they're gonna
interesting
be,
take.
but like I wouldn't want let's just say your coach makes you wear a suit and then you see the Arizona Coyotes and NHL team showing up in like t-shirts to the game.
That's a good point.
I don't know. That's the first thing I said, and I think that Arizona's so shit.
Arizona's
that-
the worst team to have done this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's just why are they even doing this? Like what's the point?
Hey guys, we're bankrupt. We're one of the worst teams in the league.
Let's not make it look like we have money and wear suits to the game.
Yeah, let's make it look like we don't care at all. Like,
I thought it was a very. I don't know if they're trying to change the culture in the NHL to make it
More like the NBA.
Yeah, I guess the
I don't
NBA.
think it's terrible. Like, I feel like surprisingly the NBA gets a lot of coverage on, what players are wearing, like Russ, LeBron, all those guys, and I don't know. It could be good for them to show off personalities in the league. And
what player in the league do you think would wear the coolest outfits to the game if every team was allowed to wear whatever they want?
I feel like Matthews gets a
would
lot
be
of
up
coverage.
there.
Well,
That's what
did
I
you
was
see the
thinking.
Leafs now teaming up with Drew and
Yeah.
Bieber's clothing line?
Oh, really? I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
they're teaming up, so all
Oh,
their
that's cool.
warm-up stuff and whatnot is...
I think that Lundqvist would still
Drew.
wear suits if he was still in the NHL,
Yeah,
and they made it
Lundqvist.
anyone could wear.
It's sort of
whatever.
like a tradition, though, the suits, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
always been. It's changing the game, but everything's sort of shifting towards that, like, own personality type of thing. It'll
Look at
be,
League Fits, though. That Instagram account, League Fits, it's like all the NBA players who have good style. There's an Instagram account that's just full of, like, cool clothing. I mean, not that NHLers are, like, as cool as NBA players, but it does open an opportunity for them to get drippy.
yeah, no, I agree. I think it shows. Maybe this
Yeah.
is something
See
where
more personality for
maybe,
sure with
yeah.
this. Like,
And also, they can have endorsements like for
Yeah.
what they wear. Like,
This
they
could
wear
be
designer
a
brand. and
this
get
could
paid
be a
for it.
marketing thing for the Coyotes. Maybe they think that it's going to really help their social media as well, like with the players.
That's a good point.
Because obviously NBA is huge on social media, and clothing's a huge part of it.
What would McDavid wear if he could wear whatever?
The thing is, though, like
I feel like
hockey
he's
players,
easy going.
Yeah,
I feel like
he-
he'd wear a white T-shirt.
He'd wear like an Under Armour
jeans.
shirt and like shorts and.
I feel like that, like hockey players, like some guys would like they're just like so basic. Like
Yeah.
I would wear. I'm just trying to think like some people would just wear like jeans and a shirt.
So in, like, a George Walmart.
Well, what was the this trend a few years ago? The starter kit, and I always remember that in high school.
Yeah.
Everyone making fun of the hockey players wearing like khakis, boat shoes, and a white
Yeah,
T-shirt,
yes.
backward sauce hat, or Bass Pro Shop hat, something like that.
It'll be interesting. It's something new. It'll be interesting what happens if more teams hop on it. Maybe it'll just.
One more thing, I think if Crosby was able to wear whatever he'd want, he'd go back to that sweat-stained Penguins hat that he wore for like 10 years after the game. You guys remember that hat?
Yeah, like
for
guys
good
like
luck.
Crosby and them. Like I don't even know what Crosby would wear. Like he's not really a very
Yeah.
stylish guy or whatever. Just does his job, but it'll be interesting what we see from the Coyotes this year.
So one more thing on the Coyotes. Dimitri Yaskin is returning from the KHL after winning MVP and scoring 38 goals last year. They have him slotted in right now on daily faceoff on the third line. But do we think that Yaskin can make an impact for fantasy hockey this year?
Who's to put in perspective? What did Kaprizov do in the KHL?
About the same numbers.
What about
A little bit less goals, I think. Like
Gusev? I thought he won the MVP as well when
And then
he
he came
came
over?
over, and he was
Bad.
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was brutal.
He's on a PTO with the Leafs right now.
Yeah, Gusev is on the PTO with the
Similar
Leafs.
teams to like Arizona and New Jersey both weren't going into that season.
I think Gusev
very
came in
well.
for Vegas.
I thought he was drafted by them
maybe.
possibly, and then they bought the rights from Vegas
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
or traded for the rights.
I mean, Yaskin, though, as a prospect back for the Blues, was seen as like a two-way player. Whereas if you look at the analytics on Gusev, he was the single worst winger at playing defense last year in the NHL.
Okay.
He's decent at offense, like better than average, but he's the worst. Like, so maybe that's why he failed so hard, because the team can't play him anything but the power play.
Yeah.
That's why the Leafs brought him in, because they think, oh, this might be a good guy that could kickstart our power play. Like be a power play pretty much only guy and like fourth line. But I think Yaskin has a more well-rounded game. Didn't really get a big opportunity with St. Louis. Could come back, and there's a lot of opportunity in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I mean Arizona, there's definitely room for him to go up to line 2 or line 1.
Yeah, I would say it's the guy you add to your watch list.
Yeah,
after
I
the
think he's a
draft.
waiver wire ad probably like a month or a month and a half into the season.
Yeah.
If he's on the power play then, but if he's on the power play, he's useless.
I mean, the KHL is a competitive league, so like if he showed
Yeah,
he
it's-
can,
It's hit or
play
miss
there.
when they come over.
that is true. But these guys like Panarin give you hope, right?
Yeah.
He has played a lot of NHL games.
How many games has he played?
I mean, this is just looking over it. He's played at least like probably 200.
What's his age?
Like
It's a
fourth
good
line,
sample
though.
size.
28. Holy crap.
I don't feel like on Hockey Reference maybe we could see his average power play time per game. Probably wasn't.
I don't
that
think they
good.
show that on there, do they?
Maybe.
You have to-
They're not giving power play time to a guy whose career high is 17 points.
Yeah, it
that's
was
true.
fourth line in St. Louis or third line sometimes, right? So
Someone's
maybe-
got to get points in that Arizona team.
Yeah.
So
A little bit of talk, maybe some rumors. I don't know if it's just Leafs Twitter or if these are substantiated, but people out there are clamoring for a Yossi for Marner trade. Now, Chads are I guess not a Leafs fan, Red Wings fan.
No, I like the Leafs too. I'm both. I know. But
Both? Okay. So what would you guys think about Yossi for Marner? Who would win that trade, Leafs or Nashville? And how does it help each team?
I feel like Nashville.
Yeah, I
by
think-
a mile. Yossi's 31, Marner's 24.
Yeah. I think it was like Yossi in a first for Marner or something people were talking about.
I
Yeah, I think
still I wouldn't want that return for. If I was Toronto, at least for Marner, I'd want something.
I mean, you could get 3-4 years out of Yossi as one of the top defenders in the league. Marner's Marner. I mean, 95 points is 95 points, but
Another 10 plus years from him.
yeah.
Yeah, man, the Leafs, like, I can't believe they didn't do anything.
He's
this
turning into the
offseason.
playoff scapegoat, right?
Yeah.
Like Gardner used to be, and then it was Kadri, and they're both gone. Now they're saying Marner.
I don't know what the Leafs do,
But do you think it's like a similar situation with Tampa? They got swept
Yeah.
by Columbus after having a historic season. And they were just like, no, we have confidence in this core group of guys. We're going
Yeah.
to keep the shit moving.
But the Leafs haven't made it out of the first round in the last 4-5 playoff appearances. I mean, actually since 2002. But
so bad.
Even like
knows?
Washington took
Yeah,
Ovechkin how
Washington.
many years to
Yeah.
win that
I think
cup.
the only
The Penguins
difference is
messed up.
that when those guys lost, like the top guys were still on. Like, you know what I mean? Like when Tampa got swept, like Kucherov's was still like
Yeah.
that power play was still on.
and Point did well too in that.
But like
series.
the fact that Marner just couldn't produce in a series against Montreal is just pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like Jason Spezza is out there producing.
Yeah, Jason Spezza did a lot better. I don't know. The Leafs will probably, if they don't win a playoff series this year, I can't wait to see what the Leafs fans are going to say on Twitter and like across the league. And
I don't even know what you do. Like you have to give up. They keep talking about giving up one of the big three, but
like Nylander actually I thought he looked decent in playoffs there. Like
I think
his
Nylander
contract looked like it was worth it at
Yeah.
that point to me.
yeah, I think Nylander's
Leafs-
definitely look good.
what the Leafs need to do is figure out what to do with Marner on the power play to actually get them to be a top 10 power play. Because they're not utilizing him well
So
enough
they're
there.
moving him into the bumper position.
There we go.
I saw that, yeah. The new special teams coach, it was switching around where Nylander and Marner were.
That's good.
Matthews, same spot.
Still
but-
trigger man on the left side.
Are you guys excited to see the doc? The behind the scenes of the Leafs?
Oh, yeah. That looks
It
good.
looks pretty good. It looks
Yeah.
pretty hyped up.
I hope it's sort of like the retro, like when they used to do the HBO series
Yeah,
of the
Yeah.
Winter Classic. I hope it's like that, where it's just like you hear their.
Remember the one with the Flyers? That was the best shit ever. Peter Laviolette, like his quotes from that, like how much he swore in the locker
Barry
room.
Trotz says that like insane speech.
And then
The Caps too.
And then Peter Laviolette, like I think Giroux scored a hat trick, and Laviolette was like, "It's always great when you have the best player in the world on your team." About Claude Giroux, it's like holy shit.
Those series were goated, and then Sportsnet took over and they went to shit.
Yeah, and maybe it's gonna be like Drive to Survive. You know, like it'll like get new NHL fans in if it's a good series.
It's only 4 episodes, I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh, that's
It's
not long at all.
Yeah, I think they're pretty long though. I think they're like 45-minute episodes, but it's kind of 4 episodes.
Is it
kinda
all
like-
centered around the Leafs?
Yeah,
Or,
all
okay.
centered around the Leafs. But that should be
see.
interesting. I'm excited to watch that.
So Central Division, Avalanche, obviously the top dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is the second best team or will finish second in that division?
I think the Dallas Stars
I agree with you.
are up there. I think they have like a very talented team. We talked about the goalie situation. There might
Yeah.
be a lot of goalies, but there's still a lot of talent in that.
I think they'll bounce back after that like cup hangover year. They had a lot of injuries, right?
So, yeah, Sagan was out like the entire year
Yeah,
almost.
Radulov too.
Like they have a good mix on that team of like young guys and then veterans.
Yes.
And then you look at the defense, and Klingberg is just pretty much like guiding Heiskanen to be
Yep.
what he's going to become.
Lindell's also very solid. And then like I guess it's the Jets or the Blues.
I was gonna say Winnipeg. Like I still love that group. They have a great goalie, good
I mean,
offensive.
Jared will
group.
definitely agree with you. Jared made a bet with me that Winnipeg finishes second in that division, and I took the Stars.
I would lean towards probably Winnipeg. Honestly,
Yeah.
I like their group more.
Okay.
Yeah. Winnipeg, yeah. I like Winnipeg as well.
I like Scheifele, Wheeler. Without Line, it's kind of strange though. Like that, just seems like not the same team.
It feels weird without Line.
Who do you think like a year later who won that trade?
We don't know.
Man, that's so tough.
Dubois was invisible. Lione clashed with Tortorella. Lione. And then
Torts got fired though, right?
Ehlers
Torch got
seems to
fired.
be-
The assistant coach is taking
I think
over.
Line A is going to have a bounce back
I think
season
so,
here.
too.
He's going to put up over 30 goals, I bet.
We got it, okay? We're good.
Yeah,
Ehlers is the new go-to winger, right?
I think so. Yeah, he's obviously proven.
Connor, too.
People are calling
Yeah,
for.
Connor-
I was
Connor-
reading something
Connor
about
Bond, probably.
Ehlers being a breakout, like a real breakout
Yeah.
this year. I kind of think he already sort of broke out.
Former top 10 pick. People forget. I'm pretty sure.
I think he was.
I want to say 9th.
I think Dubois. I don't know. Like, man,
Dubois.
he's got some.
Of the Woods. Dear Luke of the Woods.
You and fucking French.
Yeah. You're the French guy.
I'm the French guy, but I don't bring it up in the episode. I don't. I don't really know what to expect from Dubois. I like him. I think he's very talented, but I don't
If
think
he's not
that
gonna
he's
see
going to
the-
be the guy.
So
So,
probably not going to see the power play.
well, Line can be the guy for
Yeah.
Columbus. So that's a big difference.
I just think of that series against the Leafs where Dubois was so dominant.
So
you
dominant.
think that he's got it in
Well,
him.
here's a question. Do you think Wheeler is still a top 3 forward on that team?
No.
Or do you think Connor and Ehlers edges him out?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
all round game, Wheeler's better, but in terms of like fantasy, he's definitely 4th.
I
All
agree.
right. The Jets are interesting. I don't
Jets
know.
are
They did also add a lot on defense with Schmidt and Dillon.
Yeah, they had some good
Yeah, they have a
off-season
good decor
moves.
now.
DeMillo, Stanley, Pionk. Not bad.
Morrissey.
Morrissey, who I don't think is that good, but people seem to think is pretty
Yep.
good. Should be interesting to see that division. I think it's kind of weak division, and it's pretty wide open, so see if the Stars and Jets can make the playoffs out of there.
Yep.
All right, so Fantasy Corner now. We're going to talk some fantasy hockey.
Talk some fantasy.
Tyler Johnson is being listed as the first-line center on Kane. Holy crap. Kane and DeBrincat's line.
Very close.
He is from Chicago.
Yeah.
Kane and DeBrincat's line. Was this Colleton? James Colleton or Jimmy Colleton? Who's the name of their coach? I know it's Colleton.
I have no clue.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Colleton came out and said that he wants Tyler Johnson first line,
Okay.
and then Doc second line, and his start Taves on the third line.
I was hoping to see Kirby on that first line. I wanted
I did
to
too.
see
A lot of
him get
people,
some minutes
yeah.
after a quiet season.
I think he will eventually, but Tyler Johnson starting the year on first line, I think he's going to get drafted in a lot of fantasy leagues with the last
So,
pick.
too. He hasn't been picked in our dynasty league.
He
I
just
don't
got
think
picked
so.
by
Did he?
Chad.
Yeah,
Chad
yeah.
did.
Right
Oh
before
my
this
God!
episode.
Right before the
I
episode,
gave Chad
he
the
did some
topics for the
research.
episode, and then he
I saw that name, and I was like, oh,
and
I'm
then he
snagging
drafts him
him.
immediately in the dynasty
He was in
draft.
my queue. I was thinking of picking him up. He's only 31.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I thought he was older than 31. So I mean, he's still pretty old, but 31 isn't that bad.
Is he good and just didn't get any chances in Lightning the last couple of years, or is he just average? That's the real question.
I
think
think
he's average.
I think he's average, but I mean,
It's going to be hard to look bad on that
Yeah.
line, like with those
Yeah.
two.
Like how he doesn't really have to do much to be productive.
No, he just has to set
Feed
up the other
DeBrincat,
guys.
who's an elite scorer, and take passes from Kane. Like
I
it's
think
not.
Doc would do a better job on that line.
I thought it would have been so
Yeah,
good for
I
his
think-
development to be able to play
Yeah.
with skilled guys like that. And Kane, I don't know how much longer he has as
Yeah.
So
a
now
star.
Doc's gonna play with what? Kubalik
It's a huge downgrade for
and
Doc.
Strom going to make
Khrushchev?
it up there? I don't know.
Strome, I guess he's kind of on the down.
I think they work him in. I think maybe we see like halfway through the season that they put Kirby up if he's
Yeah.
playing really well. Because, I mean, they had him in first line. Now they don't. They have Johnson there. They might
Yep.
want Johnson to sort of be a veteran towards Doc to get him going or something.
Yep.
Because Doc hasn't really played a full season.
Full season, yeah.
Yeah.
That
He had
wrist
his
injury at
rookie
the World
campaign,
Juniors.
which was pretty good.
He
But
got cut short by that
Yeah, it
injury at the
wasn't
World
bad.
Juniors.
yeah,
That fluke wrist injury.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that Tyler Johnson could be a good late round flyer. Maybe he'll be in our must draft centers video.
Another thing back on goalies here. How are we addressing the Boston crease for fantasy? We got Olmark, Swayman, and then also Rask possibly returning like maybe February, March, if they re-sign him, if he comes back.
I probably would stay away or just pick Linus as my second goalie. That's probably how I would. I don't know if I trust him as not that he's not going to perform. I just don't know what's going to happen there because Swayman had a great year.
I think that like people say Spencer Knight is going to take over the Florida crease, right? Swayman, I mean, doesn't have the pedigree that Knight has because Swayman's 5th round pick and Knight's 1st round pick, but they've been pretty similar development and pretty similar like stats coming up. But no one seems to pay attention to Swayman.
Yeah, Swayman could just come in and
Be the
play
guy.
elite.
Yeah, a huge opportunity for a breakout for him.
If he's gonna do it, he's got to have a great start to the year. Like he's gonna have to. He could just take it over.
Yeah. The other thing is Linus Ullmark, being on the worst team in the league, has had decent numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a pretty good save percentage for being on Buffalo. So on a better team, he could really break out too.
No, I agree. Yeah, the wins are gonna obviously go up. It's still really good.
Well, I was going to
Boston
say, too, I know Gianni came on this show and
Yeah.
said Boston's not going to be nearly as good, but I still think they're a great team.
Yeah.
So,
That first line is just what they call it, the perfection line.
Mm-hmm.
It is perfect.
It is perfect. I guess we can talk a little bit about. I guess drafts are coming up here.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going into drafts. What are we looking for when drafting this year? Anything crazy?
I mean, you've said it a bunch of times, take defensemen early.
Drew's been getting his first hate comments on
Yeah.
YouTube, Chad. First hate comments.
I
saying
mean,
drafting forwards.
They do not like his strategy
defense
of heavy
Yeah.
defensemen. He came in this morning. We had to let him know.
yeah, there was a comment that says I was pretty dumb, I have bad takes.
Like, what's
I mean, this guy...
He did say you were probably a nice guy, though. So
He
Yeah.
did say
you got
that.
that going.
what's
if he wants
considered
to
early,
win his
though?
fantasy league or not, it's up to him. But
Drew talked about his heavy defenseman strategy where he takes 4 in the first 6 round.
7.
4 in the first 7 rounds.
Yeah, start usually with 2 forwards and then 4 of the next 5 picks.
I
for
probably
defensemen.
wouldn't follow that strategy personally, but
Yeah.
So
so the best defenseman probably in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many forwards that score 55 to 70 points. There's very few defensemen that quarterback the power play and make offense 5-on-5. So maximize the value in those defense spots. What do you think? How are you addressing drafts?
I think I'm really going to commit to that 0 goalie strategy this
Yeah.
year. I think that the one goalie I just really want is Markstrom late,
Yes.
like in the 12th or 11th. I think that he's just going to be like Calgary's going to rebound this year. Markstrom's going to take like 70% of the games this year. Like
Maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. Like
They have Vladar as their backup or Vlader. I don't know which.
yeah,
one.
he's like a young guy, right?
Yeah, his prospect.
I think if I could get him as my one, like I really would rather just punt that position.
That's for a points league, but
Or Demko. I really do
Demko.
think Demko is going to be really like Vancouver has a very good team.
so that's for points leagues. But for category leagues where you have goals against, save percentage, are you still doing the same thing?
I probably look to just do the same strategy, but bump it up to like the 4th or 5th round. You
So
know
no
what I mean?
goalies early.
No goalies early, but
Maybe 5th
once they
round,
start
start
going
looking
off
at
the
that.
board, I have 4th and 5th. I might go.
I think it also depends like who's available.
Yeah,
because,
who's
like,
going.
I feel like there's only 2 or 3 goalies that have first or second round value, and then from there it's
Yeah.
kind of spreads out more, in my opinion.
Vasilevsky, Kemper, Leonard, and Hellebuyck, kind of the top 4.
Yeah.
Then people would draft guys like Shesterkin 5th. I don't know. Like I really like Shesterkin, but
I think the Rangers are going to have
Yeah.
a year. I don't know. I've talked about this before, but I just think they have a great group on paper. Some guys still need to prove themselves, but
yeah,
good team overall.
And Robin Leonard, do we think that he takes like 70% of the games this year?
I don't know. Who's the backup now?
I don't
Laurent Brossois. Just remembered.
Someone did comment on our YouTube and asked, can we trust Leonard?
That's me. I don't trust goalies in the second round ever.
Yeah.
Never.
I'm like on paper, like I don't see why you can't trust them. I mean, they obviously wanted Leonard over Fleury.
Yeah.
I mean,
Super
Vegas
up.
is going to get wins
Yeah.
ultimately. Like
Yeah.
he's going to
Vegas-
get points off of those wins no matter
You
what.
have to be
so.
really confident that that team's going to get wins.
Yes.
If you're taking a goalie in like the second round.
Yeah.
Because even if he's great and the team sucks, like
Guy like Gibson, great goalie, but he's
Yeah.
playing for a team that's not getting wins, so his fantasy value goes down so much.
yeah.
No, I agree.
I like Gibson for dynasty though. That was my number 1 goalie in our dynasty.
He might
draft.
get traded at some point.
That's
There was
what I
talks-
heard. Yeah, I heard that he possibility of getting traded just because.
I think he wants to get traded. He said he's sick of them being bad.
He probably is. I mean, he's an elite tender who doesn't have many. Like he's 28, but like years
still
are going
got a
down.
ways to go to for development
Yes.
with Zegras, McTavish, Drysdale.
man.
Good future, but
they have
I
an
still think
Unbelievable
his
pipeline.
prime doesn't align with
Who do
with
you
Anaheim
who
right
do you
now.
think's in the best position right now out of Buffalo, Detroit,
LA.
and I guess I don't really want to involve LA here.
They have
And
the best
Anaheim.
prospect pipeline. Anaheim 1, Detroit 2. Actually, Detroit 1. Anaheim
Really?
2.
Detroit won.
Really?
Buffalo 3.
Buffalo 3.
Yeah, 100%. Darlene's supposed to be good. He hasn't been that great.
He's still so young. He's got so
Yeah,
much time to
he does.
develop.
Power is going to be a solid player, but I don't think a superstar or like game-changing player at all. And then, but the thing is, they took Dylan Cousins, which I hated on the draft night. I was like, that's my favorite player in the draft. He's going to the team. It's going to ruin him. And then the next year, they took Jack Quinn way too high. It was a horrible pick. I mean, Detroit's been, I think, hitting. We don't know yet, but Detroit's making better picks than Anaheim.
Well, my favorite rookie going into this season is Sider. Like, I think he's going to have such an impact on that team. I don't know if he'll have he's not like a player who's as flashy as like Makar, and I don't think he's going to put up the points that Makar did. So I don't know if he'll be in contention for the Calder even, but I think long term he's a rookie that's going to have such an impact on that team.
And he went 6th overall, and that was a huge reach by the NHL community. They thought he was going to go like 18th to 22nd, and it turned out it might be a steal of a pick at 6.
Well, the reaction video is unreal. Even Sider, like when he got drafted, was just stunned.
Yeah,
that you got picked so early.
I saw you logging like major minutes in preseason there.
Well, he won Defenseman of the Year in the
Dell.
in the SHL.
Oh, was it the SHL this year?
I think it was
that is
SHL.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right. He used to play in the Dell.
Hopefully Buffalo figures it out.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, they should get a good haul for Jack Eichel, so
Maybe.
that's just going to bump up their. They should get a number 1 prospect, right? Or someone who's ready to play in the
They're going to get a first
NHL.
and a number 1 prospect.
I heard the Sens. They wanted the haul was insane. They wanted Stützle. They wanted a first. And
isn't it four first round values?
Something like that.
Whether it's with prospects, picks, or whatnot.
Insane.
I think 3 first-rounders would be a lot. Like a prospect and 2 first-rounders.
Yeah.
Like the team has fractured the relationship with him. It's not like Buffalo has much leverage.
Yeah. Is Jack Eichel even going to be fantasy relevant this year?
I mean, you have to.
Last half, maybe.
His ADP is like 75. You got to draft. You got to draft him in your league, but I wouldn't draft him at 75.
Okay.
Like maybe like 130 or something. If he's still there, then take a swing, put him on IR.
I think a lot of people are wondering like if they should even consider him.
I mean,
for their team.
Yeah.
I think
Don't let
Buffalo
him go
needs to
undrafted,
realize that they're not going to win that trade,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah.
they'll never get the value back for what he's actually worth.
No, I agree.
Maybe Calgary, maybe LA, maybe New York. Where else have you guys heard?
Does LA give up Byfield?
LA would have to give up Turcotte.
okay.
If I'm LA, I'm not giving
Yeah.
up Byfield
Yeah, I
for
agree.
Eichel.
Has to be Turcotte.
Couple first.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Fantasy Corner.
Yeah, Fantasy Corner. That's
Fantasy
the
Corner
podcast.
every week. So every week we'll be doing our cherry picking long form podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, check out the long form videos. There.
Yes. Drop a like. Remember, we're on Spotify and Apple now, and we'll see you guys next week.